Okay, I think it's just gone past 9 a.m. Adelaide time, so I think we'll get started, and some more people might be joining us as we commence. Thank you so much, everyone, for logging in first thing on a Tuesday morning, particularly after a long weekend, which it has been in Adelaide anyway, and I think most other states. We're really excited to be launching this today after really probably a couple of years in the making. So this is a really exciting time for us. My name is Monique Newberry. I'm one of the leaders here at the SAHMRI Wellbeing and Resilience Centre. And today I'll also be presenting with our training lead, Kim Siao, and also one of our researchers, Matt Iazzello. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I work and live, the Kaurna people, and recognise their continuing connection to land, water and community. I pay respect to elders past, present and emerging. Now, before we kick off, I think most people will be, I think we've muted all attendees just so that we're not sort of getting any background noise. If you'd like to use the chat, you're welcome to. So you can either use the open chat or you can also send a private message to Be Well Plan. If we don't, there will be some question and answer time at the end. If we don't get a chance to answer every question, we will make contact with you following the session. We will also be recording this session for anyone who wasn't able to make it. So you're welcome to either keep your video on, or you're also welcome to turn it off if you prefer. There'll also be another session on Thursday at 4 p.m. Adelaide time, so Australian Central Daylight Savings Time now, isn't it? So that will be 4 p.m. Thursday for anyone who wants, for anyone who misses this session also. Okay, so really just to start off, for anyone who's not familiar with the SAHMRI Wellbeing and Resilience Centre, our vision is a society where all people are equipped with skills to build their mental health and grow through life's challenges. So that's really why we exist. What is it that we're aiming to do? And I think we can all agree that this year in particular, there's really a growing need for people to be equipped with skills, skills that foster resilience, that allow people to adapt to the ongoing change in our society, and skills that allow us to build and maintain and improve our mental health. And when we talk about mental health, so when we say mental health, we're not just talking about the absence of illness. So when we say building mental health, we're talking about allowing people to realise their ability to contribute purposefully, to feel good, to cope and grow from the stresses of life. So it's really looking at the positive states of mental health, not simply the absence of illness. And so in terms of delivering this vision, so one way that we achieve our vision is to use our strength in developing research-based offerings. And in developing those offerings, we want to empower and enable other people to be delivering those offerings across society. So we can't achieve this vision on our own. So for us to develop a research-based offering like Be Well Plan, we're really excited to now be launching this to enable others to be delivering this. So whether you're part of an organisation that would like to deliver this to your staff members, or even the clients or members that you work with, or also even if you're an independent trainer who has your own business and your own client base, we're also inviting other trainers to be certified to deliver this as well. Now, I'll be back a little later in the session to talk more about the business model, but I'll hand over to our training lead, Kim Siao, to take you through a bit more about Be Well Plan, the offering.
Thanks, Mon. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all. I can see some familiar faces. So I just want to first see of the group that are here today, how many of you have actually done the training? So I'm going to get Stuart to launch a poll for us to just click if you can on who's done the training, whether it's online, face-to-face, or maybe you've done the pre-recorded session, just to get a feel. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, so there's half of you who have not attended or participated in the Be Well Plan training, and obviously there are like 26% of you, or well, over 35% who has done the training. So I think that in itself is a testimonial that the training you must have benefited from the training for you to wake up so early after a long weekend to be attending this. So that gives me a lot of comfort, really. So for those of you who haven't done the training before, I just want to give you a bit of information about what the training is about. So it's a 5-week program, which is a psychological training program. And what is unique about this program is that it is allowing individuals to target the psychological outcome that they want to work on, whether it's stress, whether it's resilience, whether it's mood. And through the hard work of our research team, they have collated a bunch of activities that allow you to then choose the activities that most suit your lifestyle, most suit your circumstances, and then use those activities to help you improve the outcome that you want to improve on. So the 5-week program starts with building the foundation of well-being. So in that session, we take people through what we mean by mental health. We try to remove the stigma around mental illness, and we also lay the foundation in terms of what are the basic psychological intervention that is actually effective or has been found to be effective on all fronts, and that is mindfulness. And we get people to explore and try a buffet of different mindfulness styles. And then in section 2, we get people to measure their own levels of well-being, resilience, mood, and bring that results into the training. And that's where we help people, guide people through finding the skills or the psychological activities that will help them target that specific outcome that they want to work on. And then in session 3, we then get people to explore what are the resources that they already have in their lives that they can continue to capitalize on, to use to help boost their well-being. But at the same time, we also give people a chance or opportunity to reflect on what are their barriers in their lives that they're currently facing. Some of them might be external, but some of them may be internal, like, your monkey mind that is always bringing you down, the self-doubt. And how can we use some psychological interventions to help you counteract those? And then in week 4, we do a deep dive into stress and talk about how can we perceive stress in a way that is useful to us? And also, what do we really mean by resilience? And how can we find strategies to help us build our resilience? And then in week 5, this is where we put everything together and we allow the participant to reflect on what they've learned, the goals that they've set throughout the last 5 weeks, to then walk away with their individual Be Well plan. So this is the plan that they can put by their bedside and come back to every day to say, what are the activities that I've tried over the 5 weeks that's really helped me build my well-being, but also when times are tough, they can pull it out their drawer again and go, oh, those are the resilience activities that has seemed to work. How can I use it this time when things are tough? Within each session, there is reflection. So part of this 5-week journey is allowing the participants to gain a lot more self-awareness. And also in each session, we also share with them some psychological principles. So for example, in week 2, one of the most powerful activities that we do in all of that 5 sessions is self-compassion, teaching people how to apply self-compassion in their lives. So every week there is some psychological principles that we share and teach people, and they get a chance to apply them in the moment during the session. One of the other ones that we do is from ACT, acceptance commitment therapy, where we teach them how to do thought diffusion, for example. So there's activities that they get to try every week. We then get them to take it home and practice. So another key feature of this program is about habit forming. So this program is not just about building your own plan, but it's really about how can we make a positive behavior change that we can then continue to embody and embed in our life that becomes our habit. So we teach people how to form little habits in their lives that they can continue to develop and embody, and then it becomes part of their lifestyle. So next, I just want you to hear from one of our participants who is an inspiration to us in the training team, and he is one person who reminds me why I'm doing this and why it's important for us to do what we're doing right now, as in sharing what we've got with you. So his name is Peter.
I've had many comments that you're sounding like you're 20 years younger. and my wife is saying I've rediscovered my husband again. Generally people are saying, gee, you sound well. So I have no doubt I'll grow. I thought it'd have a much more narrow focus about the sorts of personality characteristics that you need to develop to be well and confident. But it's far more than that. It's a virtually whole of life analysis, and because it's tailored to your own interests and needs, I can't think of any way to improve it. The materials are just superb. There was no such prescription where you must follow this, and this has been successful in the past. It was self-generating and self-fulfilling by the same token, and it made you want to go to the next step there, because you were in control of your own feelings and your own health and your own development. I found that running through the program and doing the exercises was as clear as a bell, and it was good, and the instruction was excellent. I have a procedure now that works, so I think I'm just going to be better at what I'm doing and more contented in what I'm doing, and not so self-critical. The communication is not only more frequent, but it's more intense in attending to the other person's needs, and I think that's the big change. I'm less sitting in the chair and reading and more getting out and getting involved. I gained far more than I could have imagined, far more.
So that's Peter. So Peter came to us. He was one of our first participants, and he had just come out of hospital after 6 weeks, right in the middle of COVID isolation. And his wife put him on this training. He was struggling with using the technology of Zoom, etc. And yet he got so much out of this. And even after the first session, he said to us he felt a lot more optimistic than before he came to the training. So yeah, that's Peter. So I'm going to hand you over now to Matt Isello, one of our researchers here in the Wellbeing and Resilience Center, to talk about the program design. So come on over, Matt. We're playing musical chairs here.
All right, thanks, Kim. Hi, everyone. So my name is Matthew Isello. I'm one of the researchers here at the team. And I just wanted to talk you through the way we've designed the program. And the reason why we're doing this is because I guess we believe that it's possibly the most comprehensively designed wellbeing program that's available out there in the world. And I only say that because I'll run you through what's actually gone into the process. I guess it's been years in the design. Firstly, it's been developed with a multidisciplinary team. So that included researchers, psychologists, health and clinical counselors, professional trainers, academic staff, professional staff, project managers, and end users. So it got a lot of input from a lot of different aspects of life. In the process, we've used principles of co-design in the development of the program. And in particular, we've used something called intervention mapping, which is the gold standard approach for making evidence-based and rigorous interventions from a research perspective. And it's really not fun, I have to say, but it gets a really impressive outcome. But then this is the big one, the rigorous theory and evidence backbone. So we've conducted what they call a meta-analysis, which is a study of studies, where we pulled together all of the evidence that's ever been published around interventions designed to improve mental health and well-being. And it says 332 randomized controlled trials. We've actually had to update the study, and it's 400 now. So just to give you some context, the previous largest meta-analysis that was done in this space included 40 studies. So we're actually 10 times bigger than the previously conducted study. Previous largest, I mean. And so we've taken from that, we'll run through this in a minute, but we've taken from that meta-analysis all of the effective strategies that were proven in the literature to be effective at improving mental health and well-being, and we've added them into this program. And finally, at the Wellbeing and Resilience Center, we've been training for 5 or 6 years almost, various groups around South Australia and Australia, and we've taken a lot of that learning from those 5,000 plus people and rolled that into improving the quality of this program as well. So the other cool element of the program is that it actually uses technology and connects with technology in that training. And the first place we start with is with our online platform, which is called the Be Well Tracker. Some of you might have seen this before. The idea is that it's an online platform where people come and take a confidential and anonymous survey, and they learn about their own mental health and well-being. So we measure in a range of aspects of your mental health, and we put them into 3 categories: things that you're doing well with, things that you could improve on, and things that you could take action with. And in terms of what we measure, I'll just run through this. We make sure that we measure a really comprehensive, I guess, list of the aspects of your mental health and well-being, and it really reflects the World Health Organization's definition of mental health and well-being, which is at the top there. But in particular, we're measuring your mental well-being, your resilience, a little bit about your satisfaction with your physical health, but also some of the negative day-to-day sides of your mental health, being stress, mood, and anxious feelings. So what's really great about the platform is that it also contains in-depth reports. So it tells you how you're doing across these various aspects of your mental health and well-being, but also gives you some information about what that means for you in your life and what you could do about it. And we called it, I guess, the Be Well Tracker, because as you see, you can take multiple measurements and see how you're doing over time. So it's really important, the way that it ties into the platform is that, if I just go back a few slides, sorry. When you see how you're doing across these aspects of your mental health, the first thing you realize is that you're not actually, there are many aspects to your mental health, and just because you might be performing poorly in one of them doesn't mean that you're performing poorly in all of them. And what we do as a priority in the program is we help people to decide, well, which one of these aspects would you actually like to be working on in your own life, which is a key element of the tailoring of this program. And then we help you, once you've decided which it is you'd like to be working on, we help you come up with a plan to work on that using the evidence from that large meta-analysis study that we conducted. The other cool element of the platform is that it also has some educational content on it as well. So like I said, when you click into each of these aspects, there are a range of tips and tricks to help you understand these aspects of your mental health and well-being and what you can do about improving them. So in terms of the evaluation of our work, in the past, like we said, we've been training for years now at this stage, and we've seen really consistent results using the training programs that we've used in the past. As you can see, we've worked in private workforces, in public health services, in older adults, in disadvantaged youth, really across the state. And in psychology, there's a way of evaluating your program, which is called an effect size, which is basically saying, did you see an effect and how large was that effect? How meaningful was that effect? And what we've seen in all of our work consistently was an effect size of what they call 0.2, which in psychology, they call that a small effect size, but that's the effect that you basically see around the world. So we were really pleased that using a sort of a one-size-fits-all solution, we saw as good a results as you see anywhere in the world. We've been really pleased that with the extra work that we put into the design of the Be Well plan, that we've actually seen in our pilot evaluation so far, really great effect sizes, which are more like 0.5 or 0.8, which is what they call a large effect size. So this is sort of doubling the meaningful effect that we've seen from our previous work. As you can see, we've had effects across a range of outcomes of your mental health and well-being, so life satisfaction, emotional and social well-being, psychological well-being, as well as symptoms of depression, anxiety, and stress. And we've been using some really novel ways of evaluating our program. And one of these is called reliable change indices, which sort of says, it's more like a count of, did we see improvement in how many people did we see improvement who have been through the program? And we've actually seen from our work so far, we've seen a reliable improvement in 76% of participants who come along to the training across one of these outcomes. So we're really, really pleased with that. We've pilot tested the program so far in university students at Flinders University and in the general community, and we've got some funding now to test this in the medical professionals as well. The other side of this is that we've got really outstanding qualitative evaluation feedback from the program as well. So people are coming out of this program with, as Kim sort of spoke about, a plan that works for them, that they feel comfortable in their day-to-day life to improve their mental health and well-being. For a lot of people, it was the first time they've heard that it is actually possible to improve your mental health and well-being, that you can take your own steps. And they also feel ready to face challenges when they come as well. The final thing, which is in development and going back to the technology, is what we're calling the Be Well Plan app. So as part of the program, what you're really focusing on is developing that Be Well plan. And that's something that you carry with you, past the life of the 5 weeks. At the moment, we do that basically in a paper format, but the cool thing is we're developing this app, which is scheduled to come out very soon. I don't know exactly when. But this is actually means you can take this Be Well plan with you everywhere on your mobile device. So we're really excited to have that and to improve the content of the program. The other thing is that that meta-analysis that I spoke about, we'll continue to update that research. So any new evidence that arises from around the world, we'll be putting that back into this online platform, and then having that in a digital app makes it really easy to get the latest evidence to people straight away. So thank you, guys.
Thanks, Matt. Okay, so next I just want to take you through what is involved if you want to be a trainer of this program. So the first thing is that you need to participate in the training. So we want people who participate in the training and found that they have benefited themselves from the training so that they can then share those benefits with others. So the first step is participation to the training. And then we are going to equip you with everything that we think you will need to be a good Be Well Plan trainer. So that involves doing a facilitation workshop where we will be workshopping with you on what does it take to be an engaging trainer? What do you need in terms of showing up as a trainer? And then we would also then go through the content deep dive. And we've divided that into two parts. One is a session recap. So over the last 5 sessions, we're going to go into in-depth of the structure of the sessions, the intent of the sessions, the activities, and the fundamental psychological principles behind those activities, etc. The second part of the deep dive would be where we're going to get the experts to come in to share with you, to educate you on acceptance commitment therapy, on cognitive behavioral therapy, whatever interventions that were incorporated into the training. We want to give you a lot more knowledge so that you feel confident to be standing in front of a crowd, sharing and educating people on those principles. And then for those of you who may not feel very comfortable delivering this course online, we're going to provide an optional online training on how to deliver this online. We will then put you through a very rigorous assessment process because we are very, very clear and strong on this view that we want to be churning out quality trainers who will stick to the fidelity of the content, because we know that this program works and there's a certain reason why they work. And we want to be able to make sure that people who are going to be out there sharing this content with others, spreading the word, they are sticking to the content and they are quality trainers. So part of the assessment is that you will be going through an online quiz where you will be tested to make sure that you are fully aware and understand the content. There will be an oral assessment. So the oral assessment is more a chance for you to question us on the structure of the program, the intent of the program that perhaps you may not be clear of, but also this is a chance for us to assess where you're at through this journey of becoming a trainer. And then we will then also organize for you to teach back certain sections of the program to us for us to be able to evaluate that you are able to facilitate, that you are comfortable communicating to public, and that you really do know the content. And the final step is where we will come and observe you, either live or via Zoom, where you will be supported in a way while you train. And this may be that if you're already an existing counselor or coach, you may have a ready-made set of participants, that group of participants that you can deliver this training to. Or perhaps if you don't, you may get a group of friends, or if, depending on the timing, we are in the process of offering this training to the public, this may be a chance for you to come in and train with us, and at the same time, we will observe you. And by the time you get there, we feel that you will be ready, you will be a certified trainer. And then there is an annual accreditation every year to allow you to keep that license. So our estimation is that the total contact hours is roughly about 27 to 28 hours throughout the whole program. So this is just the contact hours. Obviously, you'll need to do some work on your own behind the scenes. And we estimate that the turnaround time for this journey is about 2.5 months from the beginning, from the time that you participate in the training to the time that you're certified. When you're certified, what you will get is all the collateral that you need to become a trainer, to ready to roll. So you'll be given the presentation slides, you will be given training notes that will give you talking points, the intent of each section, the things to look out for, the questions to ask the participants. You will also be given communication templates, so information to the participants. You will be given brochures, marketing collaterals. Part of that marketing collateral will be the research, the continuous evaluation that we do to show the effectiveness of the program. And also with the research material, we will also share with you the science behind the program. So the information that you really need to be able to feel confident to be going out there to share this program with others. So what does the annual accreditation involve? So what we want is to see that you're continuously training so that the training material stays fresh in your mind. So we want to know that at minimum you're having one training session per quarter. It doesn't matter that you might only have 5 participants, but we want to be able to see that that you're training. We also would like you to take regular professional development. We have plans to have at least 2 or 3 community or practice or trainers workshop next year. We want you to be able to come and participate with at least one of those. And then there is an annual accreditation fee, which I'll let Monique talk about. So this is the important bit. Who are we looking to join us? So we want people who are passionate about building mental health. We want people who are passionate in learning how to become the best possible self, their best possible self, but also how to empower others to be their best possible self. We want people who look beyond themselves to know that there is a greater community that we need to help. We want people who are comfortable communicating with others in the public space, that they're comfortable with public speaking. We want people who have some basic knowledge on building mental health. But for me, the key thing is the passion and the enthusiasm to learn. If you are willing to learn and have that open mind, we will help equip you with that. Just to give you a bit of background, some of you might know I was an accountant before I do this. So I didn't know very much about psychology. And then I became a yoga teacher and I felt a calling. So this is us calling you, and if you feel the calling to help others build their mental health and well-being, we're looking for you. So I'm going to hand you over now to Mon to talk about what the licensing model looks like.
Thank you, Kim. Now this is probably getting into some of the probably drier elements, but nonetheless important. And I know you're probably all wondering, how much does this cost and, things like that. So I'll run you through just the key principles of this model. So firstly, the first principle here is that so although this license allows you to deliver the program to other people in your setting, only SAHMRI or approved master trainers can actually train other trainers. So we will be the trainer of trainers, but the license allows you to deliver that to people in your setting. The next one here is now trainers, as a certified trainer, you are able, there's no restrictions on geographical, jurisdictions or anything like that. I mean, I think COVID has shown us all that, geography is becoming less and less of a factor. People are delivering sessions to Zoom to people all over the world. So it's really not an easy thing to be able to monitor, different geographical restrictions and things like that. So the certification does allow you to freely deliver this, and also, if applicable, set your own fees. Some of these principles are pretty similar to the mental health first aid model. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that model, but some similar principles in terms of being able to set your own fees and deliver to people within your setting. Now this allows the license is about live delivery. So whether that's a live online session or whether that's a live in-person session, the license at this stage doesn't include disseminating pre-recorded content or videos. So it's really that live facilitation, And the power of this type of training really that we've seen from the last 6 months really comes from those live facilitated sessions with trainers. Now, in terms of the fee structure, so there is a once-off fee of $6,500. These fees at the moment have been listed excluding GST. So that's so first of all, the once-off $6,500 is really to get you trained up as a trainer. So as Kim mentioned, all of those steps and phases that a trainer goes through in the first instance is really what that fee covers. We know that for some, sole traders or small businesses, that cash flow can be a bit of an issue. So we are able to organise a payment plan if that is a factor. Oh, sorry. Is that showing up? Okay. So that's the first fee. The other two fees the other fee that does apply, which is an ongoing fee, is the administration charge for us to add participants to our technology platforms. So that's a $5 per participant, and that really enables us to it's really the administration around our team adding those participant lists to the technology platform to allow the participant to complete their confidential survey and access the platform. So that's really the key fees that are involved. As an optional, as another option, Matt mentioned this support mobile app, which will be available probably early next year for participants. If a participant did want to purchase the support mobile app, or an organisation wanted to purchase the app on behalf of participants, that would waive so that's a $15 per person per annum mobile app charge. That would waive the $5 per person technology administration charge. So really there's an option here of $5 per person or $15. With the $15, they get a support app as well as access to the measurement. So that's really the key things there. And as Kim mentioned, the annual, in order to remain certified, there is an annual recertification fee to keep your license ongoing of $850. So they're the key principles. We will be releasing a more detailed prospectus over the coming weeks, which will hopefully answer some, any further detailed questions that people may have.
Thanks, Mon. So if this is all still sounding good, well, what's your next step? So we have, as I said before, the first thing we want all trainers to do is to participate in the training. So there is one coming up on the 21st of October that if you're interested, you could attend it then. We will have the registration for application for this program, the Train the Trainer program, open in a couple of weeks, and it will continue to open up until the 25th of November. So it's an application process where we will get you to complete a form that tells us more about you and your experience and why you want to do this. And that registration will open up to the 25th of November. We will then inform the successful candidate on the 11th of December. This will be a fairly small intake. Our first intake, we're looking at about 15 to 20 trainers. And then you will start your journey on the 27th of January. This is where we will be giving you the trainer's toolkit. We'll be running the workshops and the content deep dive. And based on the scheduling, you will graduate and be a Be Well Plan trainer by early March. Now, the second intake is on the 10th of February. So 10th of February next year, we have another Be Well Plan training program. So the application for that will open at the same time as the one that is as the first group, but it will open up to the 8th of January. And we will inform, so this is first come, first serve. So you get to nominate whether you want to be part of the early January intake or the March intake. And for those who choose to be part of the March intake but apply before December, we will let those know that whether they're successful or not on the 11th of December. And if there is small space, we'll let people know again on the 18th of January. So you have sort of up to 8th of January to make up your mind. And for the second intake, the journey will start, your trainer journey will start on the 11th of March with the expectation that you will complete and get your certification by late April. This is all probably a lot to take in. We have scheduled 4 intakes, all up to end of 2021. All of that will be in the prospectus. So this is just for you to sow that seed in your mind that if you're interested, you can either be attending the training program if you haven't already on the 21st of October or next year on the 10th of February. And this is also to give you that planning of knowing when you can get your annual certification. Okay, so we've shared a lot of information with you this morning. So in a nutshell, what will you get for your money? What exactly are you getting here? So by becoming a Be Well Plan trainer, really you're going to be deepening your knowledge and learning how to share effective psychological interventions with others and how to share them in a way that is engaging and practical. And you are also getting access into a training material that has been 2 years in the making, that we have evidence that show that it does work. And Peter's not the only one. The fact that some of you past participants are here is, again, as I said before, testimonial that you know it works. You will be given access to the latest research. As Matt said, they're still working on it. They're continuously working on it. So this training material will continuously be updated. What is the other unique thing about this program is that fully integrated technology. You have access to a measurement platform for your participants to measure their well-being and levels of psychological health that is incorporated into this training. And you will get continued ongoing support from the training team here at SAHMRI, myself and my other training colleagues, as well as the research team. To me, this next bit is the key part. By becoming a Be Well Plan trainer, you are getting fuel to be building your own well-being and resilience. And I'm speaking from practice. People like Peter gives me inspiration, it gives me fuel to continue to work on my own well-being. You are going to be part of a network of really passionate, stimulating people who have this vision that they are much bigger than themselves, that we are part of something bigger, we want to help the community. And if you're looking at this from your organization's perspective, this is a very cost-effective way to go, to build in-house resource, which means that you can scale this training and also make it sustainable for your organization. And finally, I think this is the ultimate why. The ultimate why is that there is such a growing need now in our society to build mental health and resilience, and the more of you who can join us, the better. So that's all from us. If you have any questions, perhaps you'd like to put it in the chat and we'll try and answer the questions for you. We aim for this to finish at 10 o'clock, so we've got 15 minutes of questions time. Those of you who are comfortable unmuting yourself, we'd love to hear your voice. Okay, Chloe says, is the training online or live? So most part of this training will be online. it just depends on, because of current COVID restrictions, if there are enough people in Adelaide, we could run it face-to-face. So we need to just see what is the intake. In terms of empowering you to train, the training material has been developed in such a way, and we will train you for both. You can then, with the training material, you can then either train face-to-face in your jurisdiction or your location, or you can train it online. Any larger training projects that come to us, we will be aiming to release. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, that's my answer. You can
Sorry.
read it. Yeah, that was my answer to the question.
What was the question?
So Anne asked whether any training work will be available from SAHMRI, and yes, our aim over as we build up a pool of trainers, of certified trainers, we will be able to release work to those trainers for any projects that we're working on.
And also commented earlier that the second training date seemed confused. You can clarify.
The second training date seems
the
confused.
intake.
The intake. Right. Okay, so let me go back to that. So all I'm saying is that if you choose not to embark on this journey until next year, the first training program is on the 10th of February. But there may be people who actually know that they want to embark on this journey, but they are not available till next year, but want to apply and know that they have been successful in becoming a Be Well Plan trainer, or being accepted to become a Be Well Plan trainer. What we will do is have the application open up to 8th of January. But let's say if you apply on 15th of November, and when we see your questionnaire, we really feel you're going to make a great trainer, we may notify you on the 11th of December that you'll be ready for to take on this program on the 10th of February. So in a nutshell, basically for the participation of the program on the 10th of February, you have up to 8th of January to apply, and we will notify you either on the 11th of December, if you applied before the 11th of December, or 18th of January. How much is it to do the Be Well Plan training initially? So if you do the Be Well Plan training online, it's $250, not including GST. But if you're in Adelaide and you'd like to attend a face-to-face one, then it's $300, excluding GST. But if you apply to want to participate in this trainer program, and if you are successful, there is a deposit of $300 that is not refundable.
Yep. So that probably answers a question slightly above, which I'll just read out. If I sign up to the training and halfway through it's not for me, is there a time frame to withdraw from the process? So as Kim just mentioned, to participate in the 5-week program, that's non-refundable because in terms of having participated in the program itself. But there will be points throughout the certification trainer process where people can withdraw. So we'll map that out more clearly in the prospectus to allow whether it's either the person who decides, or it could also be that our master trainers potentially might also give the feedback that the person may not be ready at that point in time to continue to go through. So there will be set sort of withdrawal points. We'll just check if there's any further questions, and then we might have to wrap up. Kate, within the content, is there flexibility to bring your own style of training into the mix? Kim?
Yeah, certainly we want you to bring your own style into the training. What we probably would caution against is to add material into the training. We here at the center, we're very much, especially with this program, it's our own program, we want creative people out there to come and join us, to share ideas. And, you know, if you've got other ideas that can make the program a little more engaging, etc., we will always be happy to hear that. We would just prefer that any trainers, without changing the material, go and do the training in your own style, for sure.
Okay, I think we've got one or two more. How often is the training per week? So we have got some set dates. So it's one session per week over 5 weeks. The next intake starts on the 21st of October, which our website has those dates and times.
And it will finish on the 15th of November, something like that. So the other thing that the development team was very strict on is that it has to be delivered over 5 weeks. So when you're thinking about it as a trainer's hat, it has to be delivered over 5 weeks because, as I said before at the beginning, this program is very much about habit forming, behavioral change. So we want people to have 5 weeks to try out all the different activities that they've selected to help improve their well-being.
And sorry, just to complete the question earlier, in terms of the time of day, so if you go to bewellplan.com, that will outline the next session times for 21st of October. I believe there's one that's online and one option that's in person. So you'll be able to see that detail there. Would there be another question here? Would there be a pathway to be certified to be part of the trainer team? So I believe you mean to be a master trainer to train other trainers. At this stage, we're not calling upon people to be a master trainer, but in the future that could certainly be the case. As this hopefully grows, we may very well call on people to become a master trainer. And the master trainers are the only people who are able to train other trainers. A couple more questions before we wrap up.
Has the material been used with teenagers? Well, it has been used certainly with university students. So I'll say it's been applied to late teenagers, but not necessarily the younger teenagers.
Sorry, just reading through. I work with cancer patients. Has this material been used with them? So we haven't had a direct cohort with cancer patients. Interestingly enough, we are actually talking about a potential project that will work with cancer patients. We haven't commenced that or finalised that, but so no, at this point we haven't at this stage.
To Mary's question about 15 to 20 people per intake, yes, that's what we're looking at initially. Hi, Kim. Brian, what here?
Okay, and a prospectus, yes. So we will be over the coming 2 weeks finalising in more detail a prospectus, and we will send that to everyone who is registered for these information sessions. So that will be coming through. In the meantime, if there's any further questions that anyone has that we didn't get to today, please feel free to email us. The best contact will be bewellplan@SAHMRI.com. We'll just write that in the chat just so that everyone can see the contact email address, as well as the website. The website won't have particular information on the trainer yet, but it will have the next, it will have the 21 October dates and details there.
I just want to also clarify this. For those of you who have not done the training and you're curious, what I encourage you is to come and do the training, and and the fee that you have to pay for the training will be credited against the $6,500 if you then decide to become a trainer. That's all from us, and thank you everyone for being here. We are very excited about this, and we hope you'll join us on this journey.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.